The town of Willow Creek had always been a quiet, peaceful place to live. That was until the circus arrived. It was a dark and foreboding sight that towered over the small town. The tents were tattered and worn, and the smell of stale popcorn and cotton candy filled the air. But it wasn't the smell that made people uneasy. It was the clones. The clones were sinister, with painted-on smiles that seemed to hide something darker underneath. They roamed the town at night, luring children away with promises of candy and games. Parents warned their children to stay away from the circus, but it was no use. The clones had already cast their spell. One night, a group of teenagers snuck into the circus to explore. They wandered through the empty tents, the darkness only broken by the dim light of their flashlights. But then they heard a noise. A soft tinkling laugh that echoed through the empty circus. They followed the sound to a tent at the far end of the circus. Inside, they found a small room filled with old toys and broken trinkets. But there was something else there too. A clown sitting in the corner, its painted-on smile seeming to mock them. They tried to leave, but the door wouldn't budge. The clone stood up and began to move towards them, its smile never faltering. The group was trapped, with no way out. They tried to fight the clone, but it was too strong. It seemed to be invincible, like it wasn't even human. They were at the mercy of the clone, and it was clear that it had no mercy to offer. Days turned into weeks, and the teenagers were never seen again. The townspeople began to avoid the circus altogether, but the clones continued to roam the streets at night, luring unsuspecting victims into their grasp. Years passed, and the circus remained a dark and foreboding presence in the town. But then one night something changed. The circus was gone, leaving only a burnt-out shell in its place. But the clones remained. They could still be seen in the shadows, their painted-on smiles seeming to mock the townspeople. And then, one by one, the clones began to disappear. It was as if they were being taken by something that wanted revenge. The townspeople could feel it, a dark energy that had been unleashed. The circus had been a cursed place, and now the curse had been unleashed on the town. People began to see the clone in their dreams, its painted-on smile leering at them from the darkness. It seemed to be everywhere, haunting them at every turn. And then, one night, it appeared in the flesh. The vengeful clone had returned, and it was out for blood. The town of Willow Creek was never the same after that. The clone had unleashed a horror that would never be forgotten, a darkness that would haunt the town for years to come. It was a nightmare that had come to life, a terror that could never be defeated. And the clone, the vengeful clone, still lurks in the shadows, waiting for its next victim.